Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Ross here, and a new series called Epic Replays. Epic Replays is quite simply where you send me your replay in either War Thunder or in World of Warships like this, and I will watch it and then comment on it and put it up on YouTube. For the first episode, we are watching player Leroy only, and he's actually squad up with me in my Atlanta, but I don't do good, and he actually does. So he's using the Myoko Tier 7 Japanese Cruiser with, that's 5 turrets of 2 guns apiece of 203mm that he's aiming down now on this Omaha, and shots out, and you can see more than a quarter of his life just gone. 8 hits, a fire, and destroyed for first blood, and he's putting some torpedoes down there as more of a blocking agent to keep people from actually going down that alley behind us. Now, these 203mm are damn accurate. We can watch that shell dispersion is just amazingly narrow. Now, something else about it is it has torpedoes, it has 2 launchers on either side with 3 torpedoes each. And, you know, that is pretty damn good thing to have, and it's something that the Japanese have over the Americans. The last one that has, for America, that has torpedoes is the Omaha Tier 5. And then Americans don't get torpedoes back, except for the premium Atlanta. Now he's slowly moving his turrets over here and fire on the destroyer, takes aim, and kiss that destroyer goodbye. Now he properly slowed down too. You can see right there on the bottom left-hand side, he's at half speed, and actually I think he's going all the way down to a quarter just to avoid those torpedoes. But he had the sense to know that, hey, like, I need to slow down now. Unlike me that just got hit by that torpedo, where I didn't stop soon enough. Again, look at that shell dispersion. Look how narrow those rounds are going out, and also keeping that little formation of rounds as it lands, which is just pretty damn good in my book. I mean, you can't. That's just amazing and beautiful to see all those shells land on such a narrow point. Now he's firing at the destroyer. You know, some rounds are gonna miss. You know, RNG is, you know, hard sometimes. It's not that, you know, he's aiming bad here at all. It's just, you know, destroyer keeps on moving, and you know, and also, you know, being a Monday quarterback is not necessarily good either. Now using these torpedoes, you can see how narrow though that firing arc is. You can't really fire at a you know, very large arc. You pretty much have to be completely broadside or like your rear facing your target to actually use those torpedoes. So he has his guns on target now, fires, gets a hit right there, changes his aim a little bit, but the destroyer's moving, he's waiting for him, and then he fires. He actually waits and took that shot right there, even though it went over. And aiming, that shot landed off screen right there, took a lot of health, and that's just basically freaking 7 rounds that landed that absolutely wrecked that guy. Now moving on to a battleship here, Leroy already has 4 kills so far, and we are 6 minutes into the actual game time. And the 4 kills in 6 minutes is pretty damn good in my book. And yes, they're mostly destroyers and a cruiser, you know, low health things, but I mean, that's what a cruiser is supposed to be there for. They are anti-destroyers and anti-cruisers, and he did his job in what he's supposed to be doing. He fulfilled his role. Now, if we look at the mini-map on the bottom right-hand side, you can see that we are just south of sea right now as we take on this battleship. And Leroy has actually switched over to AP here to see if he can actually penetrate and actually do some good damage. He already has a fire started, and he just wants to see if he can actually, you know, penetrate that. And that necessarily wasn't a great shot there, but he switches back to HE because he only got 2,300 with those rounds that actually landed. Now, this battleship captain is actually doing pretty damn good to avoid all these torpedoes. He has 2 destroyers on him and also a cruiser firing on him. And, you know, he's just in a bad place. He is between a rock and a hard place, as they say. And he's on fire. He probably doesn't know which freaking target to even fire at. And you can see there's more torpedoes coming in. And Leroy gets another fire on him. And look at this. He took one right there. But Leroy's going to fire again here, and you know, you can see that this captain is just trying frantically to do something. Leroy wants to fire torpedoes here, but you see that little destroyer, he just got his torpedoes off. Look at that, and there's just nothing he could do, and he died. So, you know, you can see right here, south of sea, But Leroy knew that we needed to win this game, and to win the game, you need to capture points if you are outmanned. And right now, we are outmanned. There's 3 battleships, a cruiser, and a carrier against 2 battleships, a cruiser, and a destroyer on Leroy's side. So Leroy goes over to cap. This is B over here, but he made sure to go over here and cap it, even though it's not near enemies. He made sure to go out of the way to make sure to get it, because now it's 3 versus 2 caps, and now we can actually have a chance of getting this game going. And we can see that we have an AFK player over there, and now he has another battleship in his range. Battleship is luckily not looking at him right now, but that's going to change relatively soon here. Leroy's AA is going off as he's shooting down some aircraft above him, but they're going after that AFK Fuso because, you know, botting and everything. I don't understand why players bot, but yeah, players bot. And you can see I'm bored because I'm dead and just watching Leroy and commenting in game chat. Now, that battleship now is aiming at him, but watch what Leroy does here. Leroy uses his guns effectively in all 5 guns, but when he sees those rounds coming in, he then also changes his armor profile. He doesn't stay stagnant. He doesn't stay cruising in a straight line and just taking the rounds and letting himself get citadeled. And there's another fire. He's loving that HE. Now, Leroy also has the extra 3% skill. There's that moving his battle in to avoid those shots. He has the extra skill of 3% fire to captain skill. So, for your higher tier cruisers, it's a pretty damn good tier skill to get. An extra 3% of fire for every round fired. So there's another fire, and that's where this skill is coming in handy against these large targets to burn down these battleships. And there's another fire. He's at fire number 11 right now, and there goes the battleship. That's just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Now you can see that he's taking rounds here, and the rounds he was taking is from the Lancet. And we just cut a little bit forward in time, and look, that's kind of scary seeing that many rounds come down range. And he takes aim at the Landa. Let's watch this come in though. Watch that shot group. Boom! Absolutely wrecked that Landa. That's a detonation, 3 critical hits, 6 actual target hits, destroyed, fire. It's just absolutely beautiful. Now the one thing that you'll notice right here, this Leroy has 100 hits, 5 freaking kills, or 6 kills right now, I'm sorry, 15 fires, 10 criticals, a base capture, a base assist, 9 aircraft kills, and 2 base defense. That's also with a first blood, a devastating strike, and a Confederate medal. Now, what Leroy's doing here is there's a battleship on the opposite side of that island, and he's doing almost like a blocking agent with his torpedoes, because he's trying to have us win the game. It's 766 to 756 right now, and we really need to win this game because Leroy had an amazing game. And Leroy is not going to give up just because he has 1900 health and there's a battleship over there. He's going to make sure that he keeps him over there and then kind of play hide and go seek behind this, how do you say, mountain? I don't even know what that is. I guess it's a mountain? I don't know, the mountains look so small compared to the ships if it's a mountain. But nonetheless, these carrier planes are trying to get him, but he used that AA skill, and the AA skill just ended right there, but it was enough to keep those dive bombers off of him and just live a little bit longer. And that little bit longer life that he's having is going to help us win and secure this win for his team. Now, he's going to take in, he's trying to take more pot shots and everything. He did get a torpedo hit there too, if you guys didn't notice that. So he now knows where that battleship is. And so he's going to, again, play hide and go seek and try to stay behind this mountain, keeping this terrain between himself and the battleship captain. This kind of prolongs the game, yes, but, right now, 2 versus 2, and Leroy can't freaking take out an entire battleship with only 1900 health. The destroyer just capped D, so now we have 4 points to 1 point, and he's going to try to go over to the next point. But he actually doesn't go over to the next point. What he does is he decides to go hide. Because why is he going to go hide? Is because Leroy, if you look on that bottom right-hand side of the screen, you see those torpedo bombers inbound for Leroy, and Leroy is not going to be able to escape death's grip today. And he's going to try to take evasive action and turn into their torpedoes, which is what you really need to do. But it's just, a little bit too late, in the game. And also too late turn with a good manual drop there. And then Leroy dies. in a spectacular fashion.
The enemy is about to win.
But what we have to look at, though, is look at this. 421,000 credits earned, and this is with a premium count, but this is not a premium ship. 100 hits, 6 destroyed, great game. 2,600 base experience, which is great for anyone. 2,600 experience is a damn good game, and something to be proud of. Now, as we go into the actual damage model, we can see here that he has almost 100,000 damage, just shy of it, but damn pretty good. So this ends the first episode of Epic Replays. If you like the series, please hit the thumbs up, and also please send me your replays to theflyingross@gmail.com. Until next time, I'm Flying Ross, and I'll check you later on the high seas.